Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Two Gents Podcast with the mic, as Pastor Riggins calls himself. We are here tonight. We're trying to do the best that we can. And man, it's a lot. I just got through saying these words with Pastor Riggins. There's a lot of meat on the bone that we can go after. But tonight, I just feel a little bit different. And, and it makes you wonder if people really want to hear the truth. Do they really want to hear the truth, or do they just want to hear somebody that just tells them a bunch of lies? And in politics, Pastor, I understand what you were saying, Pastor Riggins. I can understand. You can't do both. It's hard to do both, especially after what's going on this weekend. So, Pastor, I might not have understood it before, but I understand now that you can't be a pastor and you can't be in politics because you can't serve what?
It's pretty hard to do it, brother. You
It
can
is
do
hard.
it like Senator Warnock. Some other people have done it, but you got to walk a very tight rope. There's a very thin line between being a politician and trying to serve the people in a ministerial fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not cut out for it that way. That's what I mean. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't think.
Glad to be on, brother. Glad to be on. Glad to be on. Missed last week. Glad to be back on this week.
I'm glad to have you back on, and a lot of people don't understand what that thin line represents, because I even heard on the Urban View for the first time they're doing something that I give them credit. They call it, as with the old people used to say, they call it a spade, and they moving from there, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right now. We're getting to a point where you can't vote on name recognition alone. If you vote on name recognition, you're gonna be left out in the cold. It's gonna leave you in a spot where you're gonna be disappointed. And I walked around this weekend and I just shook my head. And Pastor Riggins had some stuff that he wanted to talk about before we really get into this, because I don't know. Pastor, everybody that I thought that would have stood up and said something, everybody I thought that got on the same page with us at one time, and I just don't see it, Pastor. And the scariest thing about what I see out there now, Pastor, career politicians, anybody that's been out there for a while, because their agenda is not for the voters that's in their district. They're geared towards something else. Pastor, I don't want to get too far into this, but I know you said you had something that you want to bring to the table first. And
I mean, Ron, I understand you want to talk about Hakeem Jeffries and this whole concept of him capitulating, or the Democrats really laying down and letting Trump just ransack or run, just do what he want to do, is led to him emboldening himself just to flat out, just blatantly lie, misrepresent, and boldly just present his own agenda that's anti-American, anti-human, anti-love, all this stuff. He went to the UN today, right? And he doesn't like the UN because, first of all, the UN is usually run by a lot of countries that's a lot of third world countries give them leverage and power. See, the UN was created to give smaller countries, second world, third world countries, leverage and power to be able to operate with other countries like the United States, Great Britain, Russia, China, which means a lot of countries what we would call minority demographics or populations. All, and some of them, sometimes one of them would be the UN secretary from some of these countries. So Trump went there today and began to tell them that, to the larger countries, your immigration system is not humane like ours. You're treating the immigrants too nicely. Your country's going to hell. Think about what he said. First of all, hell is reserved, it's death, but the hell he's talking about, the lake of fire, hell is reserved for sinners. It's reserved for those, the unbelieving, the doubtful, the fearful, the liars, the adulterers, the let's go on and on. murderers, haters. And when I look at all the stuff that's going on in this administration and everything he stands for, he fits those categories, unless he's going to decide to make a change in his life with God. I don't care what the evangelical church is saying. Trump does not represent me as a believer, as a Christian. Never have, and I don't think he ever will. So when he's talking about these people going to hell, he's first of all using the terminology using that term out of context. But second of all, he's trying to say that unless these countries are hateful and treat immigrants the way he is, that they're sorry, they're no good. Well, really what it is, the United States, if we're following his policies, we're the ones that are no good. All right? Then say in the 7 wars in 7 months, this is a blatant lie. These countries are not even at war. So in some ways, it sounds like he's either senile or he's having a mental problem or he's, what's the other word I'm looking for? Whenever Alzheimer's or something. Or just out there thinking that if he says something, it's true. It's like me at 7 years old, 8 years old, saying I could play the guitar. Because my uncles could play, my daddy could play. Put a guitar in my hand, I can't play. I just can mess with the strings. He's out there saying he in the wars in Cambodia, Thailand, Kosovo, Serbia, the Congo, Rwanda. All these wars been ended long ago, from the 60s all the way through the 90s. Pakistan, India, Israel, Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia. Really? And said it's in front of the whole world stage. They look at him like, okay, all right. You know, did grandpa or uncle get over to some moonshine tonight? Representing us in the United States. Armenia and Azerbaijan. Saying in the wars in all these countries in 7 months. We have $17 trillion we made off the world. Really?
You know, pastors, I hear you talk.
Then I'm gonna get ready to close. Then it said United Nations didn't do nothing for him, but 2 things. Gave him a bad teleprompter because the teleprompter went out. Just normal technical problems. And he and Melania almost fell on the escalator. But they're in great shape. If this is not a buffoon, foolery, a dunce, my grandpa say fooby, what is it? And then he said that the greatest hats he ever seen during the campaign. You know, the hat said, making America great again. My friends, the person that occupies the office of the President of the United States and stands behind the seal of that office and has his finger on the nuclear codes is not worthy of the position. I believe it was stolen. It's beyond our control. But if we don't do something in 2026, like Barron says, we're in a world of trouble. And he's already talking about this martial law stuff of us being at war, so there will not be an election during the war. Even though during the Civil War, there was an election for Abraham Lincoln. During World War II, there was an election for Franklin D. Roosevelt. So he can't lie, but he's trying to. I rest my case.
Well, Pastor, I'm going to say that you say a lot about our current leader that's in place and the things that he's done and he continues to do. If we're Americans, I'm going to tell you, it's going to hurt your head. Sometimes you're just going to get in your house and you're going to hear something on the media and you're just going to just start fussing at the TV. Because some of the stuff that he's doing out there, he's embarrassing us as a nation. He's embarrassing. He's just basically just destroying us as a people. All of that our people fought for. All the people that's in the graves right now that stood for something, that stood up and were for civil rights and all the rest of that. It's like he's just stomping on their grave, just jumping up and down, because none of it is making any sense. And if you do your history, we got a history teacher here. If you do your own research of history, if you do your own research of current events, if you do whatever you do, if you look at YouTube or whoever you look at, you'll find out that he's the only one on the planet that he's on, because all the rest of the stuff either didn't happen. It sounds like somebody had a conversation with him, and he wants to. That's where he wants to go, and he wants to lead us right down that rabbit hole. I can't do it, Pastor. I'm not going to try to do it. I'm not going to say that he's any better than anybody else, but his actions and your actions, your words and your actions have to follow each other, especially in the highest office of the land. I'm looking at Sean out there. Sean, you're right. All of what Pastor Riggins was saying was true. He can say anything that he wants, and somehow, somewhere, there's some people that get on board and just say, let's go. He could say, I'm marching off a cliff, and he have a line of people following him off that cliff. I'm just telling you, it's almost like they could see him fall, Pastor. They could see him fall. And just because they saw his hair standing up, they're going to follow him off that cliff.
It's a cult mentality. It's a cult mentality. Jim Jones is a cult mentality. David Koresh. It's a cult mentality. It's what it is. And what it is these people have sold their souls to racism, hate, demagoguery, greed. They've sold their souls to this. It's a love of money, the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hate a brother without cause, you murder.
Mm-hmm.
And 40% of America is now Hispanic in most states. That's scaring them. So with the little leverage they have, power they have, the position they have, they're going for broke at every cost. This is Hitler in the 1930s. Revisited in 2025, Project 2025, this whole confusion that they have that he's trying to bring forth and call it the presidency of the United States. He's not there to govern. He's there to try to rule, dominate, steal, kill, and destroy. And last time I heard that, the Bible says the thief has come. And when Jesus said that, and let me tell you when Jesus said that, we often say he's talking about the devil. But Jesus was arguing with the Pharisees, religious folk, because he had healed a blind man. And the blind man didn't know who done it, but he knew Jesus by his voice. Mm-hmm. And then he forgave the man of his sins. And they said, how can you forgive a man of his sins? You have the power to do that. And Jesus began to talk about himself being a good shepherd. My sheep hear my voice. The man heard my voice and knew what I am. He ain't gonna follow nobody else. This St. John 10 chapter 10:10. But the thief, and he wasn't talking about, now we can apply it to the devil, but he was talking about to the religious system. But the thief, because they were taking the people money in the tabernacle, taking people money in synagogue and helping them out. But the thief has come to steal, kill, and destroy. I say the American government, Trump's administration, that whole concept, a cinnamon. Did I say it right? A cinnamon. A cinnamon. Let me say it for those of you in the back. Tylenol is not giving people autism. Autism was first discovered in 1944. Tylenol was created in 1955. Let me say it again. Autism was discovered 11 years or 12 years before Tylenol was even made. It's lie after lie after lie after lie.
And Pastor,
to steal, kill, and destroy.
And Pastor, you're so right about what you said. I heard that last night, and that was one of the moments that I just want to look at the TV and see. I didn't want to damage my own TV. I've seen too many commercials where people just went up there and snatched it off the wall after a baseball game. But sometimes you feel like snatching your things that you paid for off the wall because you know it's not the truth. But how can you just continuously do that? And what drives them? You know, I just can't figure it out. But I started this show and I said, people don't want to hear the truth. And I mean that. People don't want want to really hear the truth. They want to hear a pleasant lie or a decent lie. They'd rather go with a lie because it feels good. And that feels good is what's got us here where we at right now. Because this man didn't lie about what he said. If you go back and listen to what Kamala Harris was saying when she was running for the election, she told you about everything that we're going through right now. She laid it out. She told you exactly what was going to happen. And tell me it's not happening. Go back and look at her words. But I want to add one thing to that. When we was going through all that stuff about Biden, and I said that the greatest book hasn't been written, she ended up writing a book.
Yeah, she wrote the book.
She wrote a book. Of course, I wouldn't like these people that predicted this to be the last day on earth. Yeah. But you knew that it was coming because she couldn't get into. She wasn't able to go back to her seat. She wasn't able to become president. She can't run for president again because she ain't gonna get enough support behind her. But she has to make an income, so that you knew that was coming. You knew that was coming, and you know it's funny. Pastor, that kind of leads into where we're going right now. That kind of leads into where we're going. And I kind of got this laid out. Pastor, I'm going to need you to help me break down some of it, but kind of leads into where we're going. They knew they wanted it. You're right. They did, Sean. That's what they wanted, and they got it. It's almost like they say on Urban View. Why are you fussing? Why are you complaining? You got the House, you got the Senate, you got the president, you got everything that you want in your favor. Why do you complain now? What are you complaining about? We're just playing the game. We're just going along with your motion. There ain't nothing that we can do till midterms come around, as Pastor said. So I'm just telling you, we're in the worst fix we ever been in. But you know, as people, we're resilient. We know there's a time. It's only a time that we got to deal with this, and that's what we're saying right now. We got to deal with this. We got to deal with this, and we got to face it, and we got to realize that we got a God up above. We got a God up above, and we just got to put our faith there sometimes and run with it. I try to talk to Pastor every day, and I tell him we got to hold our head up and have faith. Hold your head up and have faith in spite of. So, Pastor, I know you the preacher. I'm not the preacher, but I just try to get
where they everyone up to the call to have faith. Now faith that is now. And right now, we don't need the faith from the 80s. We don't need the faith of the 70s of Jimmy Carter. We don't need the faith of the 80s of Ronald Reagan. We don't need the faith of George H.W. Bush. We don't need the faith of Bill Clinton. We don't need the faith of George W. Bush. We don't need the faith of Barack Obama. We don't even need the faith of the first Trump term. We need the faith for right now in 2025 to be able to break through all of this malarkey. Mm-hmm. That's a nice word for something that we really ought to say. Through all of this troublesome, perilous mess, and stand up as Americans, as citizens, to vote, to activate, to inspire others to get involved, and to make a change. If not, we won't have a democracy.
We won't have one at all, Pastor, and it's going down. It's getting to that path where it's not a democracy right now. Before we get to the midterms, it's not a democracy right now because the stuff like the Tylenol that you just got through saying, nobody can open their mouth and say anything against the current administration without having a recourse. Nobody can do anything. So where are we? We know the times that we're living in. Sean, I see you out there. We know it can get worse. But when have we ever not had this battle? Sean, I know it's been bad times out there, but I don't think we ever got to this point where we're at right now, where we just don't have a voice. You feel frustrated. You know that there's a brighter side, something coming. You know that you're in the valley right now. We've been in the valley ever since the election cycle passed. Yeah, we've been in the valley ever since.
I tell you one thing, if God intervenes, everybody will know God got into it with us.
But he will.
But the situation, what I believe is, and this gonna sound like Malcolm X when he said the chickens have come home to roost. America bought this. She paid for this. She paid for this through slavery. She paid for this through Jim Crow laws, civil injustices, burning down Black Wall Street, burning down the city that they had in Florida, all the lynchings, all of the institutionalized racism. We paid for this. And now America herself paid for this. This is the epitome of upper class, high class, rich, racist power structure. Almost likened to apartheid. We paid for this. So now we're suffering for it. When I say we, I don't mean, you say, Pastor, no, I'm not talking about those of us who our ancestors was in the slave fields and stuff, but America as a country. And we're American citizens. So the good is suffering for the bad right now. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
We're all suffering because America herself. Now, the only way it's going to change, America herself has to change. In other words, those who represent America, those that we put forward to be our leaders, we've had flashes in the pan, Bill Clinton, flashes in the pan, Barack Obama, a small flash in the pan, Biden, flash in the pan, Jimmy Carter, flash in the pan, Franklin D. Roosevelt, flash in the pan, Abraham Lincoln. But America as a whole, we bought this.
Our leaders made decisions for America that wasn't in their best interest over the years. And we have to understand that, and we have to, like Pastor said, we're at that point right now where we need to find out some things that's going on. And Pastor, before I get into this, I got a question for you. And maybe I'm the dumbest person out here, but did you know that Nancy Pelosi is still holding her seat in California?
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought Nancy Pelosi had got out of politics.
No. She just gave up the leadership. Part of the problem. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, all that whole, look, when you get 70-some years old, when I get 70-some years old, right now, I know pastors who got that age, and I can't tell them when God told them to sit down. Some of my own family members, I can't tell them when God says sit down. But at some point, they have to give it up. So I use it because I'm a pastor, right? So I'm appointing myself first. When I'm in my 70s, I believe God told me I'm promised 10 years. A score is 20. 60 plus 10 is 70. I promised 70 years.
And
when I get 70 years old and get past that, start marching toward that 80, if I'm blessed to be in the land of the living, I'm starting to say, wait a minute. What's my succession plan? That somebody else could take over this and I retire, right? The succession plan is supposed to be Pelosi go home, Hakeem Jeffries take over, and that whole AOC, Jasmine Crockett. So what you're going to talk about tonight is based on that. Because the old heads want to go home, the new heads are really just figureheads capitulating to what the old heads would do.
Let me just kind of get into
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I'm with you, Pastor. And I'm glad you led me right into where I want to go, because you laid the carpet out and you put the table, you set the table and plates, pans, and everything. It's Easter, it's Thanksgiving dinner now. But anyway, you know, we talk about the old heads, and we talked about Nancy Pelosi still being in the office. I was surprised that she was still in office. As a matter of fact, when I saw a list not too long ago, I saw her name on there. I said, wait a minute, no, she out of there. No, she's still there. She's still holding her seat. She's just not in the House in the majority seat.
And she's no longer the leader of the.
She's no longer leading the party. And I know some of y'all might be saying, "Well, you know, that's on you. You should have knew that." No, you don't know everything. If you know everything, you might as well just give up and go on to heaven or go on to hell, wherever you're going. And just go there, just be satisfied. Because if you at a point where you can't learn no more, If you're at a point where you can't learn no more, I'm gonna tell you, your name must be Trump, because he ain't learning nothing. He just spewing stuff out there to the American public, and we're supposed to believe it. I'm not that person. If I find out something I don't know, I don't mind admitting it. But you know, I'm gonna tie this back before I get into it. It was a time in history where the Democratic Party had a strong leadership. When I say strong, it may not be what we wanted it to be, but at least it was held together by some strong people that could get the party. Huh?
Chip O'Neill.
Yeah, that could get the party to go in one.
When Reagan was there, Chip O'Neill.
Yeah, I remember. But even the lady that I just called, Nancy Pelosi, and what's his name, James Clyburn, they had a stronger party. And when the Democrats say they was gonna do something, they got together and they did it, and they followed. They had some action that they was trying to follow. A lot of people wonder how come I put this. Pastor, I'm gonna go right into this because I think we need to get this out of here. A lot of people wonder how come I call him a capitulator, and most people may not understand. And I know, because I had to figure it out myself. So as we get to this, I want to show you something, Pastor.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
A capitulator is a person or entity that surrenders or yields to an opponent or authority, often under agreed upon terms. It's a noun derived from the verb capitulate, meaning surrender or submit. The term typically describes someone who gives in, whether in a military conflict, a negotiation, or more general struggle. Hakeem Jeffries has capitulated to the Republican Party.
He capitulated to a lot of things, Pastor, and we're gonna get right into this. The reason why I would go into my flashcards, but I think I'm gonna add this to the stage right now. This is the reason why. Pastor said this a long time ago, and a lot of people didn't understand that. When you become a career politician, you stop worrying about. And Sean, I know you asked me a long time ago. I'm gonna cover this right now. Sean, this is the reason why we always call him out, because he volunteered for that position. He ran for that position. They didn't just bestow it upon him. He asked for that position. But if you get that position, you got to act in a way that demonstrates that you're following what the people want. Just because you're at the head of the table doesn't mean that you can't follow what the people want. And Pastor, as we break this down, I'm gonna need you, because you more detail on these different items. And I heard you talk about PACs. I heard you talk about different things that influence politicians that's out there. We need all of that tonight. In order to answer this question, we're gonna need all of that.
Yes, PACs, super PACs, dark money.
We going into it, Pastor.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna do it. I'm just giving you a table of contents. We're gonna get right into this. Jeffries' role, a pivotal figure as a Democratic leader in the U.S. House, balancing Brooklyn, which is where he comes from, constituents' interests with party leadership. He asked for that. Ain't nobody gave it to him. When Nancy Pelosi was there, he was hammering for it. He wanted it. He wanted it. When you want something, you gotta know what all comes with it. They didn't just come up with these ideas and go with it. Pastor, is there anything you want to add to that before I go on?
Okay, here's the deal. What he's about to get into is that Jeffries is beholden to the money behind it. So you got to make a choice. Are you going to serve the people or serve your donors? Because every 2 years, your election is coming. So the first 6 months you're in office, it's a honeymoon every time you get reelected. But the next 15 months or 18 months, 18 months, you're running again. You're running real quiet, undercover. And then in the last 6 months, you're running full blast, all in the public. But never does the money ever stop. And so he's bought. It's what he's going to show us tonight. Keep going.
So as you take on those roles and you volunteer to do all that, see what and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna compare it to Nancy Pelosi, Pastor. See, Nancy Pelosi say, I don't want that. I just want to be a representative. And you haven't heard a word, nothing from her. period. Other than them going seeking out for her. But when you seek that role, you have to be prepared. When pastor stepped up to be a pastor of a church, he knew what was coming. He knew that he wasn't going to always be right, but he knew that he had to get himself right with God before he could do anything else. And sometimes you have to figure out if you're strong enough to do it. Some people are not strong enough to do it. And Pastor, you know what really got me on this thing, and we're going to keep on moving because it's so bad I got to do 2 on this. But what really got me on this was he did all that talking. He represented all these different people. He wanted to take on all of this different role, but then he run back to Al Sharpton when everybody started criticizing him, and then he want to run on Al Sharpton's show and expect somebody all of a sudden things change. No, you got to act on your words. You got to make your actions follow your words. So I'm gonna continue going, Pastor. I don't see this in him. Maybe somebody else do.
Keep going.
Examining campaign funding sources reveals a strategic positioning and political career definition. That's where he at. I see you, B. I see you coming to the stage. I see you, B. I got to get you to the stage right now. I got B up to the stage. How you doing, Byron Glass?
Byron Glass.
He can't talk. He don't have his mic on.
He waved at us.
Okay, he don't have his mic on. We're going to continue. Okay, I got you. Just stay. We just want to see your face. We know that you participate.
About the capitulator in chief.
Yeah. We know that you participate. We good. You want me to take you off the stage, or you just want to listen in? Okay, just listen in. Got you. Funding significant. That's where we at. We're going to the next one. Key funding sources highlight the main sources of funding for Hakeem Jeffries in industry and geographical distribution. I ain't gonna go through that. Key statistics raised $6.8 million in 2022, with 65% from individuals, 24% were small contributions under 200, showcasing grassroots presence and a broad-based support.
Look at the next one. High dollar donors. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you handle it, Pastor. You can
go ahead. Substantial banking from attorneys like David Baines and financiers such as Robert Smith has been received. Therefore, he has got access to significant funds. But you see, here's how it works. If Byron Glass running for office and I'm a high dollar donor, when I give Byron Glass some money, every now and then I'm gonna call Byron Glass over to dinner or a cigar or something in my house. Mm-hmm. Say, man, look here. I need you to move and do what I say do. I might not be that blunt. Sometimes they are, or I might be saying, hey, man, I need you to consider what we stand for. Mm-hmm. I gave you this money. And Byron don't want to give up that money or be cut off next time. He's going to go back out to the public. And even if he believes different from me, he's going to hem-haw. He's going to slip. He's going to go around in circles, trying to play both sides of the fences. And he appears to be weak, fickle, have no standards, and whatever the opponents are just running ramshot over him. That's what Hakeem Jeffries is doing. The money. Follow. You know, Byron always told us. He always told us this. He said, you know what? You know the reason why I don't take money from people? He said, because they can tell you what to do, and I'm not that person. It's almost like Pastor when he said, I'm not running for politics, because it's a certain part in politics that you basically have to sell your soul, so to speak. Yeah. And Pastor say, I ain't doing that. So I'm not speaking for Byron Glass, but I heard it enough that I know where he was going and what he wanted to say without opening his mouth, because he has said that a numerous amount of times. I can't be bought. Anyway, we're going to the next one. Grassroots support islands, small contributions. Hold on. I'm gonna get this up to the stage. What exactly did he capitulate on? You want to know where he's capitulating at? Well, first of all, what was he on Sunday?
Let me do this because I don't need you in this.
Okay.
His voting record has showed that he has capitulated on a lot of things. His voting record has not shown us that he was a strong leader that could stand up and he could handle the position that he was put in. Based on his voting record, Sean, I would say that he capitulated. It's a lot of people out there that capitulate because of their funds, and that's the reason why they do what they do. I just want to tell you, we're tonight we're trying to focus on Hakeem Jeffries and why he makes the decisions that he makes, and that's where I'm trying to educate as we go along. The implications for representation reflects the connection between the community and their needs. This community in New York is totally different than the community that we have down here in New York, because some of the people up there, as Pastor said, are on the other side. He has to satisfy them too, Pastor. Am I right?
Yes, sir. And what it is, he come to Washington. You come to Washington and play footsies with the people in Washington and forget about your people back at home in New York.
And they both
Run, I think what, and I'm not going to speak on it, but you need to speak on what he did this past weekend and why it's the biggest reason why you say he capitulated.
Pastor, you know, as much as I respect you more than any of this show out here.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not going there.
Yes, sir. Right.
I'm not.
Barry Glass says he sold his soul.
Yeah.
You're going to leave it like that. He sold his soul.
We're going to leave it right there. I'm not going there. Because political action and committees and PACs. Now, Pastor, this is yours. I'm gonna let you get into it.
All right. Okay. So, guys, what happens is, as I was saying earlier, not only could like individuals give money, big time individuals, but PACs come together. For instance, the reason why we knew Trump was going to do what he was going to do, the Heritage Foundation had Project 2025 out. Trump was lying and said he was not connected to it or nothing about it. But all the money behind Heritage Foundation was part of Trump's and J.D. Vance's political PACs.
And see,
where
when
the money's coming from, it's going to tell you what the principles are and what they believe. A lot of people that put money in the political PACs, especially if you're not going to make a stand, if you don't stand for something, you can fall for anything. So Jeffries goes out there and get the middle of the road, center left, which means they on the left, they're Democrats, but they're more closer to the center, don't want to rock the boat, don't want to be radical, don't want to make any sudden changes. They just want to be part of the process. And they want a lot of money given to put some money behind somebody, a good looking face, a young, new Democrat, but he has no solid convictions on anything.
Except for you.
Buys him.
You want to come in? Do you want to come in? BG, I saw you raise your hand. But anyway, if you want to come in, just raise your hand. I'm good. You know, when you receive this kind of money from the PACs in 2022, highlighting the importance of the role of the PACs, fundraising efforts, lending corporations, contributors, corporate PACs from Amazon, 17.5, Blackstone Group, $15,000, AT&T, $10,000. Most of the people out there, let me tell you something. Most of the people that's running for Congress, they don't get those donations. They really don't. Am I right, Pastor? Am I lying? Or
it depends on how they play the game.
Where they at?
Jeffries decided to play the game, but playing the game means he's hurting us because now you playing the game and you want to be leader of the House. If the Democrats win, do you have enough intestinal fortitude? If the Democrats win, do you have enough of wisdom? If the Democrats win, will you be able, or will you be like the guy that was in there that Johnson took the place of out of California that ran out? Kevin, whatever his name.
You got to be able to make. I agree with you, Pastor. You got to be able to make a decision whether it's right or wrong, just like Nixon did. Nixon knew that he was wrong and he got caught. So he had to leave the office. You got to value your office, and you got to value the people that put you there. And you got to know that they're trying to do the best that they can. When you get caught up in the money and your vote, let me just take it back, Pastor. And you can jump in at any time.
Yeah.
Go back and follow a person's voting history. If you follow that voting history, at one time you couldn't follow it like we can today, but follow the things that they vote for and see the people that's contribute to their campaigns, and then see why they make the decisions that they did. And I guarantee you ain't on the front end of that decision that they made.
Yeah. Hey, look at some questions from Sean. Some more questions from Sean.
Sean asked, that was the last question I got from Sean. Why did he capitulate? Why did he capitulate? Well, we're trying to tell you the reason why he capitulated. It wasn't about what was going on at the time. It was because he had funding that was supporting him, and his funding in these different corporations that was funding him were the ones that was helping him make a decision, not based on the people that voted him in the office. He made a decision based on the money that's coming in. Labor union support, major labor unions, AFL-CIO, 22,000, 15,000. 15,000 and what's the, come on, Pastor, get the rest of it. Sean got another question.
Yeah. Congressional Black Caucus, PACs, DCCC, that's the Democratic Congressional Committee, also gave him some money. Teamsters, AFSCME, all these different people he's tied up with. That's why if you gonna give money, you want to give money, okay. But I'll tell you up front, just because you gave me money don't mean you're gonna control me. Because I'm gonna be AF Riggins, and the only one that controls me is God. If I don't feel like God put it in my mind, heart, make an action or make a step or make a decision, I'm gonna stand still. I'm gonna be still till He tells me to move, but I ain't letting nobody else move me. And this is what happens. They're bought by people, and then the people are actually trying to run the country through them as a figurehead. What question Sean got?
I'm bringing it up right now. Gents, it feels like another bad section for Dems. You know what, Sean? I'm going to answer this a little bit, Pastor. Before I can go bash another side, before I can talk about everything that everybody else is doing, before I can go there, I have to open up my own front door and clean up my own house. I really do. Because if you can't open up your own, if your house is nasty and you talking about your neighbor's house, there's something wrong with you, Pastor. I'm sure it's a verse in the Bible that says that. Can you help me out here?
Yeah. Hey, put the call in number.
Oh, I will.
Yeah. Here's the deal. Let me help you out on this, Sean. And I'm the first one to tell Ron and Barron that we're independents. All three of us independents, but we espouse to the Democrats' positions a lot. You got to make sure we don't cut off our nose and spite our face. But I do believe what Ron is trying to do, his attempt is to show that there's no way we can fight Trump, beat Trump, come against Trump if we coming from a weaker position. We come from a position of we don't have no position, we don't have any clear authority. We don't have the integrity of who we are as a party and leaders in our party. Trump laughing and doing what he want to do. So Ron is challenging someone like Hakeem Jeffries to make a change. Can't happen like this, but it can happen in a process. He's challenging new people running for office from the Democratic independent side to come with a whole different formula. Don't be bought. That way, if you're not bought, you can stand up against this Trump. That's what I believe.
Hold on. We got an incoming call, Pastor. I'm
yes,
trying
sir.
to get him on there.
Call number.
Sean, are you out there? Can you just say something? I'm trying to add you to the stage. Can you hear him, Pastor?
I haven't heard anything yet.
I'm going to try to get you in, Sean. I think that's the wrong one.
I'll hang on.
Hold on just a minute, Sean.
The call number is 832-856-5964. 832-856.
Sean, I'm going to have to do something a little bit different. Let me see. Sean, I might be able to get you in. Hold on just 1 second. Pastor, go ahead and talk while I get this arranged. Work it out,
Ron. Work it out. So, Sean, I want to hear Sean come in to have dialogue with us because I understand his pain. He don't want us to beat the Democrats down because our hope to save the country is are the Democrats. But what we want to do, though, we want to put a light of fire up under these Democrats. We want to light a fire up under them, let them know it's not business as usual. The game has changed. They can't play checkers while we're playing chess, or Trump them playing chess. Okay. And they can't.
Pastor, we're trying to get. That's the one thing that people got to understand. We got to go somewhere, and we got to call out what's wrong because People. I don't want people to give up. We're not trying to get people to give up. Sean, can you say something right now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
You can?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Okay, great. Hey, thanks for taking my call. Hey, and I know I've been spamming you guys with all these messages earlier today, so I thought I'd give you a call, it'd be much easier. And the reason I'm calling in is because I've been listening again. I'm the same guy who said the same thing before, and I called in about the same reason before. It feels like you guys are bashing the Democrats, and before you I know they screwed up. That's not what I'm saying at all. The problem I'm having is this. We all know that politicians politic. They make deals. That's part of their job. As much as I love President Barack Obama, I'm sure he did something that I wouldn't approve of if I knew about it. But that's the price of getting something done in politics. But what it feels like you guys are doing, and I've heard it before, and it feels like you're doing right now, is saying they got to be perfect. They got to be clean. They got to be presentable if they're going to represent us. You're not going to get anything done that way, unfortunately. You just won't, not in politics. And as long as the end goal is something better for everyone, if they're making a whatever deal that may be unscrupulous somewhere else, and in the end, we're all going to benefit from it, I think that's okay. I feel like that's okay. And it feels like you guys are just saying how unscrupulous he is in his decision making, why he's making. You guys are going so deep on why he's making decisions. And I think that's ridiculous, quite frankly. Why? That's why I said, why are you doing that? You're pulling us apart with that. You're not making us rally behind him. You're making us question him. And if he's done something I need to know about, and he's horrible, sure. But that's not what I'm saying when I look at the news.
Hey, thank you, Sean. Hey, Sean, I like your passion about it, and I agree with you. I agree that with the premise of what you're saying. Let me, because I opened the show and I went straight in on Trump. I'm gonna go on Trump every minute I can, but this show we're still trying to call Hakeem's to task. This is what I'm saying. This is my point. I don't know what Ron's point is. I can't speak for Ron. This is my point. I know you got to make deals, but when you make the deals, make the best deals. Here's what I'm going to give an example of. When they were trying to block that bill the big beautiful bill for getting passed, right? He got up there and held a marathon speech for 8 hours. He could have sent somebody else to hold a speech while he was in the back room getting 4 Republicans to switch over. What I'm saying is that his either his political acuity or his wit about himself doesn't match the challenge he has. He has to be able. I want him to be able to play tough ball, take the money, but then slam somebody, even though he took the money. I took the money from the PAC. The PAC might not agree with what I'm doing, but look out here, PAC. I'm gonna do it this way. You're gonna see the end results. Like you said, it's gonna come out. But he appears to be weak and fickle sometimes. He shouldn't have been on the floor making an 8-hour speech. He should have been in the back room getting the votes. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I'm not questioning his integrity. I'm not questioning what his motives. I think he wants the best for America as a Democrat, but I question his methods.
Yes, sir.
And I think Ron is saying the methods he's using is that he's beholden to people that's got his hands tied. And if that's true, I'm telling him, don't be beholden to that. Take the money and slam dunk what he needs to slam dunk. You can't play footsies with these people. In other words, act like AOC if you have to a little bit. Act like Jasmine Crockett if you have to a little bit. Go hard on them, pull back a little bit. Just like you deep sea fishing. Go hard on it, pull back. But don't just stay back in the cut and let all those people go out there and talk all that noise. And then you got the seal. You standing behind the podium. You got good sound bites, but nothing ain't happening. That's what I'm getting at. I'm glad you came on to give us a clarification. And I think Ron's motive is he wants Hakeem Jeffries to do something. But you're saying we can't beat him down so hard that people don't support him. I'm saying that there's a fine line between us beating him down and us trying to charge him up. Here, I put it this way. I used to coach football, basketball, and track. As long as I'm talking to you, I want you in the game and trying to get the best out of you. When I start talking about you, start talking to you, put you in that bench, I'm done with you. Because I don't think you can get it done. I think Hakeem Jeffries can get it done. We got to try to see how you can. We're trying to put word. I'm trying to put myself. I'm trying to put some fire behind him to get it done. Is what I'm trying to do. I hope it makes sense, brother.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this.
I think I understand you now better now.
Go ahead, Sean.
Sure.
I just want to tell you my point,
I
Sean.
think I understand you better now.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
I hope you can understand me better, because I just want to say this. I want a person that's out front, that's honest. When something comes up, I want you to be able to speak your mind, but I want you to back it up by the people that voted you into office. I don't want your decision to be made on the life that you done got comfortable with, the position that you asked for, and since you done got in the position, don't compromise who you are. Because when you compromise yourself, you compromise for everybody else that's downline that put you in that position. And that's the thing that as Americans, we accept that over the years. We accepted that they compromise their self because of what the money that's coming in. I have named no small amount of funds that this guy's getting. So he's beholden to somebody. And if it's his funds, we got to call it out. We call out Trump and his family, because if you notice, every action that they make, Sean, is putting money in their pocket. Every action, they're not even involved in the political system, because they figured out that if they're involved in the political system, somebody can come after them. If they go to the White House or do anything like they did before. Now they're just doing it all behind our backs. And this is the same thing that go ahead.
No, sir. Finish your thought, please.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So, well, I was thinking about this as you guys were speaking, and I think the part of the reason why this is probably bugging me as much as it's bugging me is because we are the position that we're currently in. We don't have the position of we don't have the advantage, I should say, where we can lose faith in people. And I understand you want to hold everyone accountable, absolutely, but we have so much to lose by getting rid of the few people that we do have versus trying to push them out to give them more traction, I guess. And that's probably what you're hearing right now. And I was thinking about this just a second ago, and I think that's what it is. I just don't think we're in the same
Sean,
position.
can I ask you a question?
Do that.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
I just want to ask you a question.
Absolutely.
So if you got a person that's in office, and every time their vote comes up on something, they voting against your best interests, do we continue to follow that person just because they got name recognition, or do we get somebody in, or can we vote somebody in to replace them that would help us?
I would say vote someone in who I would say B. No, I wouldn't continue to vote for someone who does not represent my best interests. Absolutely, I agree with that. And
that's what we're doing. That's what we're saying here. We don't want nobody that doesn't that's got name recognition, became a career politician, and they basing their stay on the money that they can make, because they're not afraid of being voting out of office, because they got this money and they got all these companies and corporations behind them where they can beat anybody else that's out there that's trying to vote our best interest. This person evidently has not been voting our best interest, or we wouldn't even be talking about him. And it's based on who he aligns himself with.
Ron, I'm going to push back a little bit, though. Hakeem Jeffries has voted everything against whatever Ben Johnson and put up, whatever his name is. What's his name is? Johnson. What's Johnson first? Mike Johnson. He's voted against everything he's put up there.
Pastor, we don't want to go down that road.
Right. Here's the deal.
I got proof.
No.
And it's going what it's going to do. I'm just telling you, you don't want to go down that road, because I can.
We need to have the frank discussion. My think of it is,
I want to hear it.
That he's not fought hard enough to convince. Because remember, they only got a 4-seat majority over us. My problem with it, he ain't fought hard enough to convince Republicans to come for the right of the country versus the Republican Party. That's my problem I got with him.
My problem is
I haven't seen him vote crazy. Maybe I'm missing something.
Maybe you need to go back and look at his voting record, because I'm gonna tell you something. My problem is his voting record. My problem is that you got people like AOC and you got people like Jasmine Crockett that's speaking up more than that person of the House. He only speaks up when he gets in a jam. He comes out and then he tries to cover and get in the middle. We don't need a middle person. We got plenty of people that's sitting on their couch telling us about what politics. You are in a position of authority. You run that party. Either you run the party or you don't. If you get 50% of your members not voting or casting a vote on something that you voted for, there's something wrong within that party. I don't care how you look at it. We can disguise it any kind of way. We can cover up for it. If he's not following the actions, his words are not following his actions, his seat asks him to, you're supposed to build the party. You're not supposed to be voting one way and half the party going the other way. I can't follow it.
So you're saying he's made some votes lately?
Yes.
That for Republicans.
And everybody's calling him out about it. It's a group of them that make votes based on we got more classism in our party than we do people that's looking out for the Democratic Party. At one time, we had people like John Lewis. I'm gonna call a couple of names: James Claiborne, Nancy Pelosi, Al Green. We had what's her name, Jasmine Crockett. I just looked at the a recent vote.
Somebody call me Ron.
Go ahead. Go ahead and answer the question. Go ahead and read it, Pastor.
No, Ron.
Yes, sir. I'm quiet.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna chime in for about two seconds, 2 minutes. Hey, look, I think all of y'all got valid points, but I think and I'm surprised Rick has not touched on this. I come from a unique perspective because I have been elected. Okay, the names that you just named, Ron, John Lewis and James Clyburn and all them, none of those individuals have ever been in a leadership role. And once you get in a leadership role, there are some things that you have to compromise, and your voice is not the same as if you was as a regular member. I'm listening, and I'm enjoying everything that I'm hearing, and hopefully within the next 15 minutes I can join. But I think everybody's got a unique perspective. But you got to understand, everything that y'all saying y'all want Jeffries to do, he can't do it because and that's the very reason why I never wanted to become the president other than the one time that I did. Why? Because I lost the option of having my vote when I wanted to. I lost the option of having my voice when I needed to have it because my job had to be focused on the leadership, which is the majority of the party. Now, I disagree with a lot of things right now, especially, and I think y'all said it, that Jeffries is not doing. He's not taking the role of a leader. He's not uniting the party. He's being too submissive. He's being too passive. But Sean has got an excellent question, and what I want y'all to do is rather than come across to the audience as being combative, explain to them that it's y'all emotion, y'all passion, because we definitely don't want people not to call in because we feel like we can't take that other point of view. So, hey, y'all keep going on, man. I'm going to keep listening, but hopefully within the next 10 or 15 I can join. I'm loving what I'm in. Good luck to you, gents.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Hey, go ahead and handle Tyrone, and then I'm going to handle what I just put up on the stage.
Yeah. No, I'm going to say this. But no, Baron is right. That's why I engaged with Sean. Let Sean know I understand where he's coming from. I don't know. We're not bashing Hakeem because he's the best thing we got. I just want to light the fire up under him. He's the best thing we got. I don't want nobody else. I mean, because right now the party wouldn't follow AOC. They wouldn't follow Jasmine Crockett. The party wouldn't follow him because the party, not the Democratic Party as a whole, can't stand that radicalism.
But they can't follow him either, Pastor. They can't follow him either.
But Ron, I think that if we win the midterms, he has more leverage. He can make better decisions. I think he's trying to play chess.
It's no chess moves out there. Now I'm gonna answer.
I think he's trying to play chess. I think I'm
gonna answer Byron's question real quick.
Okay, Tyrone. Of course, Trump's family has been properly while he's in office. He has the rest of the country divided and distracted, not paying attention to what his family's doing. That's right.
Yeah.
If anything, instead of him, Trump lied so much. He said America got $17 trillion. Really, what Michael was trying to say, and his family probably got $17 billion.
Let me just say this real quick. And the real reason why I brought Clyburn, because I had researched this today. Clyburn served as the third ranking House Democratic behind Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer from 2007 to 2023, serving as the majority whip behind Nancy Pelosi and Hoyer during the periods of the Democratic House control, and as a assistant Democratic leader behind Pelosi and Hoyer during those periods of Republican control. And that's the reason why I say I didn't just bring him up, but it's based on something that happened in a recent vote, and that vote was that he stood up. Sometimes we need people to stand up for what's right. You can't straddle, let the water run down you like you a river, as I said this morning. Sometimes you got to stand up. You got to build a dam and say, hey, I ain't going for that. Not because it's valuable to you, but because it's valuable to people that's died, that's gave their life, people that's been bit by dogs, people that's ran across this country over and over, volunteering to speak up for people that was in trouble. You got to do that. If you can't do that, it's something wrong. Pastor,
let me put a little history into a little civics lesson. When he was the majority whip, you know what the whip is?
That means that he came behind Nancy, and if they had any problems, he tried to clean it up.
No,
That's
sir.
Go ahead.
The whip is the one that whip up the votes.
Same thing.
He's the one's gonna get the. In other words, when you gonna put a bill out there, you never put a bill on the floor until you feel like you got enough votes. And
that's the same thing that I was saying, Pastor. You basically.
So I think I know you said right, clean up. But I was trying to, I want to get specific. This is why I'm saying why I'm being specific. I think Hakeem Jeffries' problem is he hasn't put together an organization or people with him that like Clyburn and people like that, like Pelosi did. That's what I meant. While he was out there making that speech, if he's making a speech for 8 hours, somebody ought to be whipping votes for 8 hours. If he couldn't go do it, somebody ought to be whipping the votes. Getting those 4 Republicans to come over outside. That's why I think he's going wrong at. He's going wrong in how to approach his job as a leader. I think he means well. Now, I've yet to see, when you got to go back, maybe we're going to show me some data of where he voted, not in our best interest. When all Democrats voted one way, he jumped on the Republican side. If he did that, now we got a conversation we got to have with him. But my problem is he don't know how to run the House. Is what I'm getting at.
So why take the position if you don't know what you're doing, Pastor? Why become a pastor if you can't guide the church? Why get in that leadership position if you can't follow what everybody else has laid out for you? Nancy Pelosi was in that position for a long time, and we complained about her and everything else. But I guarantee when a vote came up to that house, she had everybody that was in line.
That's a learning curve too, though. We kept saying we need new leadership. So now I'm put some of that back on Pelosi and them. Who trained these guys? If you had all this time, Steny Hoyer, Clyburn, Pelosi, why you only train the next generation? See, that's part of the problem too. You got to put it back in. If I leave the church with succession plan, I can't throw anybody up there to take over as a pastor. I gotta train him before he get there. That's the problem too. See, so when Sean said don't bash, we got to make sure that we look at the whole picture, that we in a pickle right now. We're in a bad situation. And it's like we got 3 people on the injury reserve list. We got somebody whose contract hasn't been signed. Dallas Cowboys. We got a brand new coach, and then we got an owner that's going crazy. What I'm saying is, the Democrats got a short time for 2026 to take over. And so we all coming at it like we're all panicking, or not panicking, but we're very concerned. Sean is concerned that we beat him down too much. He ain't gonna get his support to do what he gotta do. Our concern is we can't let him be at ease in Zion. He can't lay back and just have a title and not do nothing. Then Barron's concern is, guys, wait a minute, this is what it is as a leader you have to face. And so I'm trying to take all that accountability, but at some point, you either got to use the restroom or get out the pot.
And Pastor, you know what I want to say to that is this. We're not the only one calling them out. We're not the only one calling them out. They calling them out on national media. If you go through any media channel that's out there, and I'm gonna use Miriam Pastor's station, Urban View. They're calling them out. You got to call out a person that's not doing their job, or else we're just going down the same road. We're going to repeat the same process. We got to call him out, and we got to show maybe this is the reason why he's doing that, because he's led by another means versus what's actually happening. And when we call him out, it's definitely something wrong, because we should be at the bottom of the list calling him out, but we're right in there with everybody else. I listen. As a matter of fact, Pastor, I'm gonna tell you how bad this got. I listen to Roland Martin, and I know most of the people that we know don't agree with Roland Martin and some of the stuff they call him arrogant and all the rest of that. But he had to call him out because of what some of the stuff that he recently did, along with some of his frat brothers. He had to call him out because you do not. There's certain lines that you do not cross. There's certain lines that people have died for that you do not cross. And he crossed that line. So I don't care who you are. If you're in charge of somebody, you got to stand up for what you got to have a belief. You got to know why you got there and how you stand your ground. But if you can't stand your ground and all these other factors behind you help you make your decision, I don't know. I don't think we're going down the right path with that particular person. Come on, BG. I got you. I can't hear you, BG.
Hey, just I want to thank y'all for taking.
I'm on stage.
Stop off now.
Yeah, BG. Sean, we appreciate you. Don't feel like it's like we're not against what you're saying. We understand what you're saying, but I really appreciate you calling in, Sean. Don't ever hesitate to call in, because you're one of the people.
Thank you. I'll continue to listen.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Bye, BG. It's on you.
All right, bye.
I'm in.
Yeah, you're in. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
Hey, yeah, I think we got to go back to the drawing board, because again, I think a lot was said, but and I'm 8 hours away from Sean, and I don't think he's satisfied with what's said, because I'm listening, and it appears, the opinions, are accepted, but but because you said it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. Again, I'm looking at Jeffries from two different standpoints. I don't think he should have been the leader. Okay, I think that people get leadership sometimes, Riggins, by the hierarchy. Okay, a leader must be able to balance the fundamental basics versus all of those other things, like Riggins was talking about. He had to take into account everything everybody has said. The party needs unanimity right now, right? They don't have it. Jeffries is not bringing that to the table. Is he smart? Probably so. Is he capable of being a representative? Yes. But when you have to balance 400 and some odd people and try to get the majority, some things don't come with academics. Some things don't come with education. You have to be a brawler. Okay. He, in my opinion, I think they should have gotten somebody else. I think somebody else should have been in leadership role. What I don't like is this. And see, this is where he had to do this, because he has to be the face of the party. He has to show unanimity or whatever. When he signed on to this bill with the Kirk stuff and all that other kind of stuff, Riggins, you know what I'm talking about. So that alone, because see, like Ron said, at some point, it's some things you don't compromise. Okay, and if he knew that this guy was not who they say he was, leadership or not, I'm voting no. I'm not dealing with it. So he's in a precarious situation. Can he do what needs to be done? In my opinion, I haven't seen it yet. I don't think he's capable of, because like I text you guys today, this man, the coach Riggins spoke of earlier, he's single-handedly beating all of them at the game that they should be winning. The party should be having a landslide next year. They still don't know whether they're going to gain some seats or not, in my opinion. But back to the subject at hand, let's just kind of be mindful, because I know I have to think about this myself. We don't want the beat to call up. Not that you guys did, not that we do, but for the purposes thereof, whether we like it or not, what Sean is saying, and I'm speaking for him, I don't know, is that that's all we have. Okay, if you beat him too much, you're never going to get what you're trying to get. My thing is, I think you can always chastise a person, but still show that you support them. I think you can chastise a person, beat them up, so to speak, but you have to show some love and compassion. I totally disagree with some of the stances he made. And again, I don't think he should have been a Speaker of the House.
Yeah. And along with what Barron is saying, as long as I'm coaching you, as long as I'm trying to get the best out of you, I'm trying to get you out there to play. If I decide to stop talking about him or he ain't no good, done with him, then that's when I'm giving up on him. I haven't given up on Hakeem Jeffries. That's the best shot we got. But we got. We've got.
But I think what Ron is saying, and Ron, you speak for yourself. Ron is saying that it's time out for the hypocrisy. Either you stand for those who put you in, or you fall with those who you are beholden to. And I agree with that 100%. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with the context of the comments of the show. I just think everybody should be mindful that we all coming from different angles. And at the end of the day, we should meet up somewhere. Again, I don't think Jeffries is the person that should have been in leadership.
Let me kind of put this in perspective for myself. I'm okay with you being a leader, but I'm not okay with you selling me out at the same time. I'm not okay with you selling, and I don't even vote for you, but I'm not okay with you making a decision that didn't have anything to do with money, but you sell me out. I'm not that person. And Glass, I want you to check this out. I got some slides that I want to get to. Who was the top contributor for Hakeem Jeffries in 2023 and 24 campaign committee, and how much did they contribute? The top contributor was the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, $866,550,000. That was from the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. And you wonder how come people are beholden to certain things when they get voted into Congress? You think he's gonna vote against something on Israel, or they don't have anything to tell him what they can't steer him in a direction? I'm just putting out points that help you understand the reason why people make decisions and how they go down that path.
But Ron, on the same token, now you got to be fair about it. Everybody does that. It's about give and take.
I'm not saying that he's the only one, Glass. I realize it's a Republican and a Democrat that does the same thing. But it's sometimes when you're making decisions, it's based on something that you're getting a contribution from.
Let me clear this one up. In other words, if Kamala Harris was president, she was trying to get us to come out of Israel to come out of Gaza. And now Trump and Netanyahu, I can't say the word, can't say the last name for nothing in the world. The prime minister of Israel wants to stay in there and bomb them, tear them all up and everything. And Hakeem Jeffries' hands are tied because why? He got money in from Israel. The people that's in there is what Ron is saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing, today at the UN, in the UN,
but here's what Glass would have done. I don't care how much money Ron has given me.
Right.
Ron is never going to control what I feel is the right thing. If I was Hakeem Jeffries, whether they gave me the money or not, I'll give you your money back. I'm voting for what my conscience will allow me to go to bed at night and sleep. I'm voting to get them people out of Palestine.
Right. Listen, I said that over 30 minutes ago. I said, I'll take your money and still slam where I need to slam. And next time around, if you don't want to give me no money, somebody else going to give me some money. You're not going to buy me.
What here is to educate.
Now,
which company was the second largest contributor? BlackRock. In case you don't know who BlackRock, go out and Google them. Find out who they are. I'm just telling you, we got to
BlackRock is connected with the military stuff in the United States to build all these military machines and all this stuff and all this military complex.
They popped up out of nowhere and they had more money than everybody else because of the campaigns that's going on around the world. I'm just putting it out there.
Mm-hmm. Now, I see where you're going with it, but what I'm saying, but Barron said himself he shouldn't have been a leader, but now he is a leader. we just trying to squeeze out of him whatever we can. We got to squeeze it out of it, man. We got to squeeze, because what's the alternative? Mike Johnson? Come on. What's the alternative? You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but it's the reason we educate and we try to explain to people the reason why they can go out and read this information. That's the reason why I want to go through all of this, so we can get out there and then we can have whatever type of discussion that I had another PowerPoint presentation, but he's getting money from different people. I mean, you have to look at the people that he's getting money from and how he's voting, the stuff that he's voting on. I mean, God, come on, guys. We got to realize that he's getting this money from these different. He ain't gonna never speak against Israel.
Today in the UN, most of the countries say we need a Palestinian state. Trump said no, because Israel don't want one. If you get a Palestinian state, that's the first way to get rid of Hamas. Because see, Hamas operates in chaos. It's like right here. If you in a hood in say you're in 3rd Ward or 5th Ward in Houston. And there's no strong leadership in that ward, in that area. Guess what? All the gangs and all the scrupulous people and all the stuff that's crazy is gonna run in the whole hood because nobody ain't stood up to put nothing right. This what's going on in Gaza. Hamas is a terrorist group that's running because why? Because the rest of the world won't give them a real country. We give them a real country that Gaza will fix itself. They'll put Hamas down. You got somebody back in the United States like this who's siding with Israel about not letting them have a Palestinian state. You're working against your own interests.
Now, this is what I'm gonna say. This is probably at the top of the list. But just imagine how many downline representatives in the Democratic Party that's not getting this amount of money and that they contributed to their camp. You think they're gonna stand up and say something against Israel? We wonder how come Israel is running rapid in the world, do whatever they want to do. This is the reason why. They buying our politicians.
But see, in fairness, whoever would have been the speaker would have gotten that amount of money. So had he not been a speaker or the leader in a leadership role, he wouldn't have gotten that amount of money.
All I'm saying is take the money, but don't let the money take you. Take the money, but you're not gonna buy A.F. Riggins. Take the money. Understand because of my position, I got the money. But I'm about to represent what I believe right for America. Now, next time around, you don't have to give me the money, but I'm already going to do what I got to do. But by the time I do what I got to do, somebody else can give me some money because we're going to make stuff happen.
Address this one, Pastor. Pastor, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. Approximately 83.79% of PAC contributors came from the business sector. And so while they're screaming and hollering, they get up there making long speeches about how a lot of times they be up there making these long speeches about the economics of how trickle-down economics and this, that, and the other and all that stuff, and the banking, unsavory banking deals and all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, in the back door, they putting money in these coffers. So they talk a good game, but are they walking a good game is what Brian is saying.
3 industries contributed over $700,000 to the campaign in 2023. They contribute over $700,000 are retired, security, investment, education. See, you can run away. See, you have to file all of this stuff with the SEC. And the only thing you have to do is go out there and find out what a politician and where they're getting their money from and how they're running their campaign. But when it comes to voting, see, you can't, when it gets behind that booth or you get the yay or nays or what's the other word? Yay, nay, present, not voting and all the rest of that. That's something you have to do. None of these industries do it. But if they in your ear telling you that they don't like what's being said or what's being done, you have to make a decision. And that's what he's not able to do, evidently.
Let me say something else, Ron. You see how you got access to this? And you're an ordinary citizen like me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? All the colleagues in the house all know what each other tied up with.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you how they work, too. They're not going to talk to each other until they get on that floor in front of the cameras. I send my aides down to your office and say, hey, man, look here. Riggins back there said to come tell my aides tell your aides. Tell Ron, Riggins said, if you don't vote this certain way, you're going to pull the carpet and show that you got money from blah, blah, blah. He sit back and say, hey, man, if you tell me to do that, I'm going to tell you to do that. That's the kind of mess be going on back door. Playing chicken, bluffing each other. What you going to give me? What you going to give me? What you going to da-da-da-da? And meanwhile, we in America out here in the real country, working 8 to 5, whatever, 9 to 5, suffering Why they up there playing games? Am I right? Am I right, Barry Glass?
You're right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's the reason why I need to point this out. Go ahead, Glass. I'm sorry.
No, I just say I'm just looking at all this passion Regan bringing to the table.
Well, that's how it works, man. And people don't understand that. All they see is whenever we'll listen to we're about to see breaking news. We're about to have the vote on the House. It's on the floor now. We're on the clock. And someone will come out the back. They said, wait for so-and-so to come out the back. He's still in the back, in his back desk back there, sitting back and forth to each other's office, fussing about it. And then he come out there at the last minute and vote. That's what John McCain did to Donald Trump. He stayed in the back about the midnight hour. He already knew he wasn't going to vote for Trump bill in Obama. But the aides going back and forward with whoever, with Mitt Romney and whoever else, he was trying to convince him to do it. And then John McCain came out there and said, and did that. You see, so it's a game that they playing sometimes. And we out here suffering and worried about it and arguing, and we need to. We need to get involved. What we're trying to do is get people besides us, try two gents in the mic, to get out there in each every day, to be just at least halfway interested we are, and get out there and motivate somebody to go vote, register somebody to vote. Please go vote. Don't talk about it's raining. Don't say it's too hot or it's too cold. You know, why? Because they're playing games.
That's our objective in Byron Glass. You know that we educate here. We try to inform, educate. We try to help you understand the reason why a person probably votes the way they do and which way they went. It may not have nothing to do with us. It may have something to do with the outside influence. And Byron Glass says it all the time. I can't play politics like that, because if you give me something, what you're asking me to do is compromise who I am. And I've heard that for years and years and years. And you also heard Pastor Regan say this: I can't be a pastor and be in politics at the same time, because I can only go one way or the other. Well, I'm trying, and I hope that I illustrated that it's the reason why people change their mind. He's not the only one that's out there, but he's the one that did something recently that just totally upset me, took me to a whole nother level. And when I seen how the party divided on this particular thing, it's something wrong. We're pulling off that Band-Aid now. So when we get to the midterms, hopefully we got something resolved by then that we can grow from. If we don't pull that Band-Aid now, all of this is going to come out during the midterms. I guarantee you. And they're going to use it against us. If you don't think so, they're going to use it against us. Pastor said it. The election, I don't think the election was won by Donald Trump. There's some stuff out there that's coming out right now about the election that's behind the scenes, that stuff that was going on. And some of the same stuff that Pastor Regan said early on. How can you carry a city and a county, and then when it comes to the vote for her, you don't have half the votes out there? So I'm just saying that you got to know why people are doing what they're doing, why they accept it. Pastor Regans, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to destroy the man. I'm just trying to say it's got to be a reason why a person, he went to college, he got elected in the office by people. His people voted in, they believed in him. And the people from his area, he lives in a diverse area, which is New York City. He can't satisfy everybody, but sometimes you just got to vote for your being you. And I'm gonna leave it there, because I know where I really want to go, but I can't say it.
What's preventing you from saying it?
Well, I think he's talking about that sensitive subject that's become reason why they come to the show last week. That's part of it. You know, it's but hey, Ron, you retired already. Say what you gotta say.
Wait, well,
I don't want. I could say it. Go ahead, Byron. I'm gonna let you talk. I can say it.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna have to frame it in a way where I can say it where I want to say it. Go ahead, Byron.
No, only thing I was saying, the one thing we don't do is we don't mince our words. Okay, that's the one thing that we started out 12, 15 years ago, not missing a word. you take it and you go with it. However you feel about it, it's on you. Because the intentions are not to inflict harm. The intentions are to enlighten and inform. So if this is just like Hakeem Jeffries. Okay, we're talking about a moral compass now. We're talking about telling, what the truth is. We're talking about speaking facts. We know everybody disagree. Pastor, it's always been said, what kill one may kill another. Two people can look at the same thing and come up with two different outcomes.
Yeah.
I don't see what somebody else see.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of the day, when the smoke cleaner dust settle, I'm going to say what I feel I need to say, and you take it or leave it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't come on the show last week, because it's a whole lot of stuff I want to say. I can't say this from a spiritual point of view. America's not a Christian nation. We're religious. We're not. There's no nation that's man-made is a Christian nation. Japan, Russia, Congo, South Africa, Spain, France, Mexico, Colombia. Only Christian nation is the kingdom of God. And the kingdom of God has people from every nation, every kindred, every tongue, a number no man can number.
But Mr.
America's a religious nation wrapped up in some false doctrine. When Revelation talk about the false prophet, that's a false prophet. That's a spirit of false prophet in the United States, call it Christianity. And the beast, I call it the United States. And the man that the 666, we'll have to see what that is. But I ain't coming to preach tonight. But I'm saying, so when they get up there talking about this is Christianity, no. I'm not mentioning no names, not saying no names. I'm just letting you know nothing was Christian about anything that happened over the last 2-3 weeks.
Come on,
Christian about it.
Well, I'm looking at about an hour and 26 minutes, 8:56 p.m. Central Standard Time. But what I really wanted to talk about, and I probably would lose my religion tonight, is the Harris book that she got out, which is the most destructive book that could have ever been written, telling it, tell all and all this other stuff. Where's your loyalty at? She's making, in my opinion, people dislike her even more, have definitely destroyed any future that she may have ever had. And then she's destroying the legacy of the man that she was working with.
Glass, I'm going to respond like this. Do you remember I said that all those books that was out, and I'm gonna tell, and I'm gonna go on this right now because I'm gonna say it like I want to say it, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I got kicked off of Urban View when I called in the first time. When I called in that show, the first thing I said, the best book that could ever be written hasn't been written. I said because the person that's gonna write it is Kamala Harris. When she can't get elected and when she can't go back to the Senate, she can't be a president again. She can't make any money. The only money that she can make is from writing a book. I didn't have no glass ball in front of me, but it's obvious that was going to happen. Glass.
She wants to be relevant. She wants to be relevant. And Riggins, I have.
I'm waiting my turn. I'm waiting my turn.
No respect.
I'm gonna say what I gotta say.
Go ahead.
Man, look here. The night of the election, and the next morning, Harris should never conceded. She should never conceded. She should never conceded. She should have took Biden to task then. If what she believed, because what happened is that just like Barack Obama miscalculated and underestimated Russia, getting involved when Clinton ran against Trump. When Trump ran against Biden, he put the stuff in place to make sure the election was fair. And that's how they knew that he lost. And his own people resigned when he tried to say, go back, be a boy, go back and say they could. You told that man that was running the election deal, Chris, whatever, go back. They said, no, you lost, square and fair. Biden, nobody knew he was fighting cancer. Nobody knew he was we could tell he was almost having dementia. Nobody knew they didn't have his stuff together. He did not protect the election. And the election was stolen, and she knows it was stolen. That's why it took so long for her to concede. They say they were arguing in the back. Her and Jill Biden fell out that day. She was arguing in the back, saying, listen, y'all got to go see what happened. I would have never conceded. Because first of all, I'm black and I'm running. Second of all, if I'm her, I'm black and I'm a woman running. This is my first, only last chance. They gave me 107 days to do it. I got $1 billion and I still lose. Not no, but.
I know, Pastor.
Blank no.
You know.
But you conceded, and now you wait 8 months later write the book. Don't write the book now, is what Barron is saying. But the book probably is true. But you should never concede it. You should never concede it. If Trump never conceded when he ran to get Biden, you never concede. And you say the election is stolen and based on the fact what you believe, not on some hogwash like Trump was on hogwash. See, that's another thing, because Trump went on that hogwash about he never lost that election. Everybody's scared to say it. Now, everybody was afraid to say when there really was something really going on. I don't want to sound like Trump. Trump don't own the truth.
So let me tie everything back to today. We can't just completely blame Hakeem Jeffries when he's serving in a party with leadership like this. If we don't get this leadership straightened out now, it's going to be a problem, because you want to know what capitulating is? That's what they did. That's what's been happening in the Democratic Party. Everybody's singing that song, me, 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 me. And I'm going to get a few more people to go, me, 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 me. And eventually they're not singing the same song. So if we don't, I'm going to say it again, if we don't pull that Band-Aid and get this stuff cleaned up now, come midterm elections, it's not going to matter. And as my buddy Byron Glass quotes all the time, it's doomed. You might as well just say that we're living in a different society. We're living in a And Pastor, I'm going to close with this. After the last vote that they had to opportunity to stand up for, and they didn't stand up for, that just shows us where we at. We should be talking about everything that we can put on the table right now. So they can't bring it up against us during the midterms election. Get it out there. Byron, it's yours. And then Pastor Riggins, we're going to go ahead and close this out. Because
Barron, I'm going to ask you one question, Barron. Do you believe she should have conceded or not?
Well, Riggins, what I will say is this. After all the light that has been shed, out of all of the finagling and the things that are now coming to light, even though I dislike her, I think she should have never conceded.
Because, man, let me tell you what. I'm going to say this, and people don't like conspiracy theories, but I'm not. I told y'all 2016 and 17 when it happened about Clinton, and the Mueller report showed all that, how Russia got involved in the machines, This time it was different. It wasn't Russia. It was inside America. It's your boy, the smartest one to send the rockets off everywhere. They done fell out with Trump now. They got together last Sunday though, shook hands. What's his name?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. They got in outside them things, man. They were purging the voter rolls online. See, purging voter rolls in 1960s means you got to pull out a piece of paper and scratch your name through it. But 2025, 2024, you purge it online. You disappear, the vote disappear out of the machine. Well, in a county, all the Democrats can win the whole county and nobody have to win and she get none of the votes.
And Pastor,
all night long, red was popping up everywhere. Red was popping everywhere. But that funny grin the picture they have for Trump and her, that old funny grin with Trump, that funny grin on his face, popping up everywhere. Like a clown. And they still in the votes. And everybody's like, what's going on? She should never conceded. I would have never conceded.
And Pastor, you know what we're gonna do next week? I'm gonna make this announcement right now that we're gonna invite David back on. And since you wasn't there the last time he came on, he got some stuff that he would like to share with us involving that stuff that how they manipulate the numbers behind the scene. And that's where we're gonna do that show next week. Because I'm gonna tell you something. This hurt. I'm gonna tell you, I was hurt when I looked at how the vote took place last time. And I'm not gonna let this person escape, because how in the hell can you be the person that was in the house and you headed the house and you vote and you don't vote? You're not voting. I'm calling out Nancy Pelosi not voting. You got to pick a side. You can't just get in the middle and straddle that pond. Either you on one side or the other. You can't just not vote. I'm sorry. I just got to get that out. And I want to say this. Crockett,
you talking about on vote they had lately?
Recent vote.
The people worried about if I'm a Christian or not. You're not a Christian if you supporting stuff that's not Christ-like.
Okay, we're gonna leave it there, Pastor. Let me go on. I know you're getting excited, but let me just say this. Pelosi, not voting. Crockett, nay. Al Green, nay. Fletcher, I'm just talking about the Democrats because I went down to Democrats in Texas. Fletcher, she voted yes. She's a Democrat in Texas, in the Houston area.
They're trying to be a Christian.
Yay. Castro, not voting. I mean, elected official in our area, Pastor Fletcher.
Hey, Sylvia Garcia came to our school today.
Who?
It's Sylvia Garcia, the congresswoman.
Yeah.
From Houston. You know, his hand spent here this month.
She voted nay. Her name is on that list. She voted nay.
She said, listen, she came and said, listen, I came from South Texas. I was real poor. She's speaking to these kids and telling them about how they can come up from nowhere and be somebody. I'm real poor. She said, I didn't want to pick cotton all my life. So I went and got an education. And I got my law degree from TSU, the Thurgood Marshall School of Law. She said, and I was the impeachment manager for Donald Trump. She said, people always ask me, have you met Donald Trump? She said, no, I haven't met him, don't want to meet him because I was his impeachment manager.
Byron, come on in.
You said,
tell me your mama's story, Byron. I got to hear it tonight.
Regan, you said a whole lot right there. That's exactly how I would feel. If he were to come right here right now and they was giving him $1 million for you to go see him, I would never be a millionaire. I don't want to be in the same room with him. Mm-hmm. And I want that to be known.
She said, I've not met him and I don't want to meet him. She said, I was the impeachment manager. I ran the trial. She said, I got everything I learned from the Thurgood Marshall School of Law, TSU. Yep.
Byron, I need your mama analogy tonight before we get off this air.
Hey, Ron, all I can tell you is this. Mama said, when you go to bed at night, just make sure that when you do go to bed, that you've done all you could do based on the ability that God has given you. And what I'm saying is with Hakeem Jeffries, I think he's probably a good person. I think he's probably a smart person. But being a good person and a smart person, Riggins, you know yourself. It don't constitute you to be a leader. A leader got to have some of this thug in him. He's got to have some of this academic in him. You got to have a combination of both. You got to know how to balance them and when to balance them and where to balance them. But what you don't do, Riggins, is you don't never compromise your moral compass.
Never capitulate.
That's that. Say the word, Pastor, one more time.
Never capitulate.
Say the word. See, I got it right for once. Byron, I might not do everything.
Yeah. And as far as Harris, I think she's self-serving. I think what most people have said about her is true. She's out here running around telling everything that went on behind the closed door. Was a law test. If Barack didn't automatically, basically come out and say, that's between y'all. We don't need to know all that. So why do you feel like you have to come out? But Riggins, some people will sell their soul because they want to be at the top. That's her.
Let me just say one more thing, Byron. I want you to comment on this. Why would you just run the MSNBC, CBS, ABC, and all the rest of them when you think that you're ahead of this game? But when your ass got caught in a loop, you run your ass on Al Sharpton's show on last Sunday to try to clean that shit up. Don't run back to us. Don't run back to the black people to clean your shit up. You laid it out there. I'm sorry, Pastor. I just have to say it like it is. You understand what I'm saying, Glass?
They got dog kind, they got horse kind, they got human kind. All of it stink.
Yeah,
and that was stink. That was stinky because you brought a man into your mess to clean it up. You had him stepping in your mess because you got called out. And Pastor, I'm gonna say this, and I want you to understand. You remember that church that you went to in North Carolina? I think that was the same church that Roland Martin got invited to, and he was having a conference at that same church with that same pastor. And you know what he said? I'm gonna leave it at this because it's kind of fun. He said, man, y'all need to learn how to put some seasoning in that food because wasn't no seasoning. It wasn't no seasoning in that dinner that y'all gave us. But anyway,
I don't know what we went to. Well, the food we had was catered to us.
That's what he was talking about. He was talking about, we're from Texas and Louisiana. We gotta have some Tony sachets or something besides biting in potatoes and meat.
Louisiana folk and Texas folk cook better than everybody else in the nation. And I got a combination of both of them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So anyway, Byron, I'm gonna give it to you. You give it to Pastor. Pastor, close us out. I need a good prayer, Pastor, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm at odds ends right now.
Yes, sir.
Well, hey, I want to do another show specifically focusing on how lame Harris is and how she's destroying any respect that most people would have of her. She's destroying the legacy of old Joe, and he was good at what he did. He wasn't the best, but he damn sure doing 100% better than what this man in office is doing. And I have no respect for him. I wouldn't want to be around him. I wouldn't want to shake his hand. I wouldn't want to be in the same vicinity that he is. And I stand on that.
Yes, sir. Amen. I second that motion that the church say amen on it. And let's pray. Look here. Guys, audience, we get together as often as we can. Two gents in the mic to try to positive influence you to be involved in your community, your city, and your world. One of my goals and visions and mission in life is to impact my community, my city, and my world. And Baron Glass and Ron Spikes, I've been running with these guys since 2015 doing this. And we're sincere about it. We have different points of view. We have different personalities. We come from different angles, but we all try to end up at the same place. And that's to get us involved for the good of our community to make a change. As I pray tonight, I want you to focus on one thing. Somebody was saying about making a stand. There's a song that Donnie McClurkin wrote a long time ago, became his most song that he's known for. What do you do when you've done all you can? Seems like it's never enough. What do you say when your friends walk away and you're there all alone? What do you give when you're giving your all and it seems like you can't make it through? Just stand. Stand. Through the storm, through the rain, stand. Through the hurt, through the pain, stand. Don't you bow, don't you bend. Don't give up, don't give in. Hold on, be strong. God will step in, it won't be long. After you've done all you can, just stand. Father, we thank you that we're standing on who you are. Yes, this is politics. Yes, it's community activities, community activism. But without you, we can do nothing. You're our beginning, you're our end, you're our first and our last. Somebody said you was coming to get us today, and they lied. No man knows the day nor the hour you're coming. But we'll be ready when you get here. But as for us, we're standing in solidarity, standing as brothers, standing as a community, standing on what we believe to be the truth, standing up for our people. Not to be done all we can, we're going to stand. Let's impact our community, our city, and our world. You get glory out of what we're doing. We leave this platform, but not your presence. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank God. Rick, God. I'm going to let you talk.
Right. And for the guy who said that the rapture was coming back today, everybody who know you should have lost all credibility to be a man of the cloth. Peace.
We got the deuces, and I'm going to say thank God, and we're out of this place. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. We're out here to teach. We're not out here to put out our own opinions and have you run with them. Anything that we put out, you can go Google it. Have a good day.